Hello, welcome back to the channel. Glad to have you join me. I'm Michael, and today I'm going to share with you in this devotion something that plagues us all, and that is worry. How do we combat worry? Worry is another form of fear. How do we combat these things? So we're going to look at a biblical story today, and we're going to talk about how we can get through those difficult times that bring worry on us. And we're going to look at what causes us to worry. I'm going to go to the Bible, Matthew chapter 14, and we're going to begin right there at verse 25. Now in the fourth watch of the night, Jesus went to them walking on the sea. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled. That's saying they were afraid, saying, "It is a ghost," and they cried out for fear. But immediately Jesus spoke to them, saying, "Be of good cheer, it is I. Do not be afraid." And Peter answered him and said, "Lord, if it is you, command me to come to you on the water." So Jesus said, "Come." And when Peter had come down out of the boat, he walked on the water to go to Jesus. But when he saw the wind was very great and strong, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, he cried out, saying, "Lord, save me." And immediately Jesus stretched out his hand and caught him and said, listen at this now, "O you of little faith, why do you doubt?" So see, they were all afraid, and they were fearful. The storm was making them afraid, which is unusual because these guys were hardened fishermen. That's what they did for a living. And I'm sure on the Sea of Galilee they had encountered numerous storms, but this storm, there was something greater about it. The waves were immense. The wind was super strong, and all of it together, the boat was being tossed around and filling with water. It was frightening them. And then they see this in the distance, someone walking on the water to them. And they became afraid, and they were crying out, "It's a ghost, it's a ghost." And it was Jesus. And Jesus, as he does to us when we're in those fearful times, he says, "It is I. Do not be afraid." So whatever you face, don't be afraid. Know that Jesus is there with you. And then Peter, he did like we always do. He wanted to doubt that it was Jesus. Prove it. You ever heard that? I know you have. We've all heard that. Prove it. Somebody wants you to prove that something is what you say it is. Prove it. So Peter's saying, "Lord, if it is you, command me to come to you on the water." And Jesus said, "Come. Come on." And while he was looking at Jesus, he was okay. He was concentrating on Jesus. And he was able to walk on that water by the power of Jesus and his great faith and trusting in Jesus. But what happened? The moment he took his eyes off Jesus and he started focusing on the storm around them, he began to sink. And Peter cried out, "Lord, save me, I perish." And Jesus did what he does for us when we're in that kind of a fearful situation. He reached out a hand, he pulled Peter up, and he said this. He said, "O you of little faith, why do you doubt?" It's a lack of faith, or maybe we're not concentrating on Jesus like Peter did when he began to sink in the water. We take our eyes off Jesus and we begin to sink in life's troubles, and we begin to worry, and worry leads to doubt. Doubt leads to many other things. You see, faith is the opposite of worry. Faith is saying, I'm trusting Jesus to take care of me no matter what. And then you got to believe that. Down in your heart, you got to believe Jesus is going to take care of it. He's going to see you through whatever it is. The Bible even teaches us, pray believing that it is so in your heart, and it will be. I've seen that many times in my life. Trust the Lord. Pray. Talk to Him. The one thing we have to avoid, if we can. I realize what I'm saying is not easy to do, but if we can, we need to avoid the fear factor, and we need to concentrate on the faith factor. Keep our eyes on Jesus, not on the storm around us. If we're focused on the storm, we're not focused on Jesus. If we're focused on the storm, we're going to fail. We're going to sink in the water. But if we're focused on Jesus, we're going to walk to Him. He's got that outstretched hand pleading for us to come to Him. Trust Jesus. You may be in a very, very difficult situation. It may be circumstances like finances. It might be relationship-wise. It may even be just this world we're living in, because, buddy, this world's in a mess. And they're trying to get you not to believe in religion and trusting in God. Don't let them take everything away from you. Keep trusting in God. Obey God. Live for God. Honor God. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope I've said something to encourage you today. Take care. Have a blessed day. I'll see you in the next video. Take care now.